The first half of 2023 has gone, and it's time to reflect on the games that made an impact this year, be it positively or negatively. Namaskar friends, welcome to Illegal Desi. Let's start. Before I go any further, if you like the video, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel more than you know. If you have any feedback, please leave it down in the comments below. The surprise shadow drop from Tango Gameworks looks and feels like a blend of Sunset Overdrive and Jet Set Radio, which was a perfect kickstart to the 2023 gaming journey. Be it the rhythm action which is at its game's core, or the combat which perfectly complements it, and especially the music, which will have your feet tapping when playing. This one is definitely a standout game for me, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you have never played a Diablo game till now, this is the perfect time to pick it up. The acclaimed series is back, and how? A balanced and rock-solid confidence in the basic architecture of its action RPG existence is something the series has worked hard to achieve over the decades. With everything in consideration, Diablo 4 is a must-play if you're a veteran of the series, and it's a great starting point for newcomers. Street Fighter 6 is the latest iteration of the Street Fighter series. Not only is it the most technically advanced game in the series, but also the easiest to get into, with a new set of controls to welcome beginners while retaining the old ones for the veterans, new characters, and a great questline. Street Fighter 6 is a must-have for anyone interested in the fighting gaming genre. The latest iteration of Final Fantasy is the perfect blend of Devil May Cry and God of War, something that I've also said in my review video. It's a new approach to storytelling, combat, and everything else makes it the perfect entry point for people who have never played a Final Fantasy game till now. Add to that, the story, though a bit fleshed, has all the trademarks that made Final Fantasy one of the most epic series in gaming. I know I might get some amount of backlash considering Nintendo is not officially available in India, but this is a must-play game regardless. The sheer amount of flexibility it provides you, be it weapons crafting or creating new design using the inbuilt mechanism, is something that no other game has ever been able to come close to. I have seen people making simple cars to attack helicopters and even battle robots that can take down an entire camp of bokoblins in a few seconds. Simply put, this is a must-play game for everyone. Now let's have a look at some of the worst games that came out in the first half of 2023. Ravenbound is an open-world, third-person roguelite RPG inspired by Scandinavian folklore. The world is an empty shell that is in desperate need of some miracle that can fix the repetitive gameplay, technological problems, and add some real content to this barren wasteland of a world instead of just constant warfare. A well-deserved breath of fresh air is provided by the clever ideas and intriguing genre blending present, but regrettably these elements are rapidly overshadowed by the annoying flaws. Crime Boss Rocket City offers so many conceptually interesting gameplay mechanics that could work well together, but it doesn't give the player enough opportunities to use them and fails to tie them in a way that makes the player experience enjoyable. There is some minor depth to the game, but it is overshadowed by what could have been. The game makes an attempt to become the next Payday but falls flat on its face due to so many things that do not work well. Loop 8 was looked at like the next Persona clone and had an interesting time loop concept. The story, however, is told incoherently, the characters are cliched and dull, and the fighting lacks any real depth or strategy. The aesthetics of the game, which combine beautifully realistic 3D models with painstakingly created 2D backdrop pieces, are the only thing that I can praise for this game. The Vampire Hunter co-op multiplayer developed by the legendary team that made Prey feels comical to say the least. From a bland open world to even worse NPC, more bugs than I've seen in any other game, and the lack of even 60 FPS despite it being a first-person shooter in 2023, this is not a game that I would recommend it to anyone. There's even an article which suggests that Redfall more or less gave up on the game and was hoping that Microsoft would close it down when it acquired Bethesda. This platformer was expected to be the next upgrade to Styx, but comes out as the worst game of 2023. Although Golem's inner battle mechanisms are entertaining, they do not stand out in a game that is dominated by subpar platforming levels and stale graphics. A fantastic soundtrack and voice acting make the experience a bit promising, but aside from a desire for a nostalgic platforming adventure or a simple love for Golem, there isn't much compelling you to play the game. The game was so terrible to the point that the developers Daedalic closed down its game development division just this week. That's gonna do it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.